David Martin, Labour MEP for Scotland. What problems are legal highs causing in Scotland that you're hearing about from your constituents?
Well, first and foremost, they're on the increase. They are generally untested, so people have no idea what they're taking. And in extreme circumstances, they're causing deaths. And across Europe, there's been deaths in different member states. And in Scotland, it's difficult to have precise figures, but a recent estimate says that 47 people have died in Scotland as a result of taking these drugs.
And do you agree that there's a need for action at a European level, which is what the European Commission has been talking about today? They've come out with proposals really calling for a ban on these substances.
You've got to remember that these substances are sold sometimes in shops and sometimes over the internet. And anything over the internet means it's crossing European borders and European frontiers. And there have been incidents not just in the UK and not just in France, but across the whole of the European continent. So it's clearly a European-wide issue. The problem at the moment is left up to individual member states to take these products off the market. We believe there should be speedier action, and it should happen across the whole of the European Union, and that therefore requires European legislation.
And indeed, in these proposals, the European Commission is talking about speeding up the process from 2 years to put things on the ban list to 10 months. 10 months still sounds like a very long time, though.
10 months is still a very long time, and I hope we can actually find a mechanism for speeding up even more, because this has been a problem for several years now, probably since about 2008. But actually this year, it's now estimated that a new one of these drugs comes on the market every week. So the speed at which they're coming on the market is increasing, so we have to be quicker in terms of getting off the market. The other thing the Commission is proposing, which I think is a sensible measure, is at the moment these are either legal or they're not legal. There's nothing in between. Clearly not all of them should be banned, and the Commission is proposing that it should have a two-stage process, that you could decide that certain drugs just have to be immediately banned and off the market. Others, you could restrict their use and find better ways of restricting use, because at the moment, the way it gets around the law at the moment is these legal highs simply say not for human consumption, which of course is precisely what they're designed for.
And that's exactly what I wanted to pick up with you now next, because how feasible is it to put these bans in place when they're coming on the market? As you say, one new product every week, the sheer quantity, but also the fact that they're not necessarily branded as legal highs in products. They might be branded as for not fit for human consumption, for food, for plants, or whatever.
You're never going to stop them getting on the market. It's just the speed it's happening is too quickly, and as you say, they're not marketed for the reasons they are then used. So the issue is how quickly can you get them off the market once you identify them, and at the moment that is far too slow, and we should be able to speed that up, and I don't see any reason why that couldn't happen. Obviously not overnight, but it could happen much faster than it happens at the present time. But we're in a race. We're in a fight. The people who produce these goods are unscrupulous. They know what they're producing. They know the consequences of them. As long as they can get around the law, they're going to try and get around the law. So we just have to try and be as quick as them. We'll never be quite as quick as them, but try and be as fast as possible in dealing with the situation.
And what about buying online? Could people not turn to the internet to buy, for example, from places like China, from other parts of the world, and therefore any new European legislation becomes ineffective? Is that a risk?
It's a risk, but not as great a risk if they're banned in the European Union, because you're then importing a banned substance. So it would still be quite difficult to stop an individual buying it for individual use, but it would be illegal for a trader to buy it and then put it on the market in those circumstances. So the European law would be helpful. And just as it's illegal to bring in heroin or cocaine or whatever, it would be illegal to bring in those drugs if they've been banned. The problem at the moment is you can bring as much as you like in if they haven't been banned, and that's why they're called legal highs at the present time.
Is there not also another risk that you could drive a more underground trade, a black market, if you ban the sale of these products, but they still can be produced without too much problem?
Well, this is a much bigger, wider issue in terms of drugs. In fact, personally, if you were going to legalise the so-called, or simplify the legal highs, you then get an argument or a debate about whether you should do the same for cocaine and other substances. And that's a debate I think we have to have, because it's equally difficult to drive just to stop those products being marketed, and we've already driven those underground. So it becomes a kind of circular debate. But underlying the question, I'm not saying you believe this, but underlying that question might be an idea that somehow these legal highs are not quite as bad as the other banned substances. My view is they are just as bad.
And just finally, these were proposals from the European Commission, so they will come to the European Parliament to be discussed. Is it something that you're planning to take an interest in, and would you like the Parliament to maybe go further than these proposals do at the moment?
Well, we need to see the precise details that the Commission bring forward, but I think the Parliament will be looking carefully at the Commission's proposal to see if we can speed up the removal of these products from the market. Of course, we'll need to take expert advice on that, and you are dealing with 28 countries, so it's, we're never going to be, as I said earlier, as fast as the producers of these products, but we have to be as fast as we possibly can.